Today is a full upper body day. And if you've seen any of my other videos, you know I normally work out at home. Why am I outside? I'm going to a public gym. The local recreation center is gonna feel my presence and my grunts and screams. Yes, I might have lost a little bit of gym etiquette from just working out at home all the time, being able to scream, you know, quiver and just make juice everywhere. Potentially lower body as well, considering that I skipped them yesterday. So if I have the energy, I will be doing it. So I am just gonna walk you through some of the benefits and things to make use of if you go to a proper gym, if you don't just work out at home. You know, things that people sometimes take for granted. As a couple of things to note for this workout, it's probably gonna consist of 4 to 5 exercises. The intensity is gonna be fairly high. I have 4 rest days after this. So a couple of things I'm gonna be trying to keep in mind is gonna be to limit my axial loading, my physical pressure on the spine from the weight that I'm holding, lifting, or moving, because that will just tire me out for the later exercises. So as the exercises go on, I'll be less and less afraid of them. But for the sake of maximum intensity, I'm going to really try to manage my fatigue, especially at the very start, even though I have the most energy. Going forward after that, towards the middle to later half of the workout, my technique might start to slip, and that's gonna be okay, because I'll still be getting the stimulus necessary, but I won't have to worry so much about the fatigue because of all of the rest days that I mentioned earlier. Yes, let's have a good workout. First exercise is incline Smith machine bench. Smith machine instead of free weight here to help with getting the most stimulus out of our effort. Taking the stabilization out of the movement allows you to push efficiently and use less mental bandwidth on making sure the bar moves in the correct path. Some form cues I use is to puff my chest as the bar gets lower to ensure I'm getting as much stretch as possible. Control the negative, making sure I always physically feel my muscle working to hold the weight, and a dramatic pause at the bottom to milk the stretch as much as possible. 3 sets, 8 to 10 reps. Second exercise is the horizontal cable row. The benefits compared to a free weight bent over row is the force curve. Specifically the fact that it allows you to crunch your back at the full contraction of the rep. The reason this exists is because with a barbell row as an example, you often have horrible leverage against the weight at the top end of the movement, meaning it feels extremely hard. This cable machine is different because you have so much control over your positioning compared to bent over rows that you can naturally smooth out the force curve as you row. This may not help with growing more muscle on its own, but it's a great goal to have with each rep to ensure you're not cheating yourself and that your form isn't changing. Can't crunch, rep failed, set over. It's simple. Form cues to follow are to allow your shoulders to come forward, allow the back to round. This ensures a deeper stretch and inclusion of all muscles. 3 sets, 8 to 12 reps, optional rest pause. Third exercise is the flat dumbbell press. Everyone and their mother does a flat press of some kind. Dumbbell press now, because I've done another press earlier, I will not be at full strength. This allows me to use a lighter weight and try to include all muscles involved, shoulders, triceps, and chest. Not that it wouldn't involve it regardless, but this just allows me to really milk out all those muscles. Cues I used are to really let the dumbbells fall beside the body, creating a huge stretch. Control the weight on the way down and really sit in the stretch position for a good second. 3 sets, 6 to 8 reps. Fourth exercise is the lat pull-down machine. A huge benefit of this exercise, like the cable row, is the ability to smooth out the force curve by moving your body, meaning you can lean back as you pull to let you comfortably pull a little lower and crunch once again on your back. Admittedly, I let my ego take over a little on this one. Cues I use are to lean forward at the top to create a self-imposed stretch on the lats, lean back and puff your chest at the bottom when you pull the weight down, and control the weight all the way back to the top. 3 sets, 7 to 10 reps, rest pause after each set. After cleaning up after someone else's ego, I started the 5th exercise, leg press. I enjoy barbell squats more, but this is more efficient for the stimulus given that I don't have to stabilize and that I'm on my 5th exercise. I do not have the energy for a good set of barbell squats. Cues for this is to have your feet at the bottom of the platform to get as much knee flexion for your quads as possible. Adjust the back seat so that way your hips can really allow the legs to come up to your shoulders as much as you can. Go as deep as you possibly can. Pause at the bottom and explode up. Legs are strong. You have to treat them as such. I did 3 sets to failure, increasing the weight each set. Increasing the weight as you go is not ideal, but my legs were surprising me and so I challenged them as such. 6th exercise is a dumbbell lateral raise. I did not track, measure, or count. I just did as many approaches to failure on my own timeline as I could. I did this because energy was running low, so instead of intimidating myself with a plan, I just did it to flavor. Inconsistent rep times, inconsistent reps per set, inconsistent markers for failure between technical and true failure, and literally everything else. Negatives of this is that it's untrackable, unprogressible, meaning that you cannot do this over time and make consistent progress. But its positives is that on a one-off, it's really good to allow you to milk all your energy for everything you're willing to give. So by using this, I got a total of 10 approaches to failure, which is undeniably good volume. The workout is finished. Turned out to be a full body day other than my hamstrings. Fuck my hamstrings. I didn't have the energy, so I didn't work them. I'm excited to go home, get some food, some sleep. I'm gonna drink a whole bunch of milk because I'm craving the creaminess. Hell yeah. So today was definitely a higher rep day than on average what I normally do. Today was more between the 10 to 20 rep range in most exercises. Interestingly enough, my leg exercise, was probably the highest rep exercise I did. Now, I didn't count. I can't count worth shit. So today, I did not go to complete and total muscular failure on almost any exercise. I went until technical failure in most exercises. Now, what does that mean? That means that the target muscle will have gotten a great workout. The stimulus is almost as high as it could possibly be, but my fatigue won't be as soul-crushingly bad tomorrow morning. Sketchy crosswalk, just making sure I don't get the death. That would suck. Overall, fabulous workout. Very few complaints. I even had a guy mention to me that, like, wow, my leg press range of motion was great. Which is stunning to me because I got shit mobility everywhere. So I was loving it. I was like, oh, flattering, but okay. I'll take it. So as I was saying, technical failure today over complete and total muscular breakdown. It wasn't out of concern for the next following days because I don't have to worry about it. I work tomorrow and the days after, but other than that, I have no reason to save my physical energy. So the reason that I was concerned about it at all was purely for the longevity of that current workout. I didn't want to gas out an hour in because the workout itself took about 2-3 hours. Which is longer than most, probably longer than it needs to be, but remember this was a pretty high volume, full body day. So 2-3 hours, I think, is a roughly, realistic number for that to be. 1 second, I'm gonna pause this video, wipe the fucking rain off my phone. Now you'll notice that there was just about 1 exercise there that you can do at home with there was 2 exercises out of the 6 that you can do at home with minimal equipment. There was the flat dumbbell press as well as the dumbbell lateral raise. So why were those in there, given that I had access to all this equipment in a public gym, in a commercial gym? All these machines, all this fancy shit. Because all this fancy shit is freaking phenomenal, bro. That incline Smith machine bench press, phenomenal. I don't get that good of a stimulus off of a regular bench press. Partially, I think, because my ego takes over. So it's some internal things I got to work out and figure out. But for the most part, the fancy doohickeys and bells and whistles of a public gym, of an actual gym, are worth exploiting. Especially if you plan on going there pretty often. There is no reason you shouldn't make a hyper-specific exercise tailored to you. There's no reason that you should just stick to free weights. They're great, they have plenty of upsides, but if you have the option for a great stimulus, and this is purely bodybuilding, if you have the option for a great stimulus and a super, technical, high, degree of setup, bells and whistles, fancy looking, wacky ass exercise, do it. Nothing wrong with it. Yes.